The world's largest crypto asset manager has just added XRP to one of their main funds. We got to talk about it along with what BlackRock is up to, what some of the largest central banks in the world are up to, because they are making moves. They're picking up XRP, they're picking up gold, they're absolutely cleaning out the COMEX silver vaults. We're going to talk about it all in this episode. Now, quick point, yesterday we set the internet and Twitter on fire with our video of the 30,000 Fed XRP buyback. Now, of course, if you watch the video, you will understand that the video is actually, and the whole point of the conversation is one, not about that $30,000 price, and two, not about having the Federal Reserve actually buy back our XRP. It's much deeper than that. And to make it simple for everyone real quickly, it's simply not about the $30,000 price, it's about fair market value. If we were operating with a free and open market, what is the potential for XRP? The reason why we're talking about that is because we need to talk about the damages done to the XRP community. Now, why everyone should be interested in having this conversation if you're in America and you care about this country is because the other part that we're talking about is the regulatory capture by the SEC and other three-letter agencies over our capital markets. We used to have the gold standard of capital markets and currency. Now we're setting the standard for corruption and regulatory capture. It's a sad state of affairs here in the United States. And if you care about this country, we need to talk about it. Are we talking about 30,000 XRP? No. Are we talking about the Fed actually buying it back? No. We want to expose the Fed. We shouldn't even have to write a proposal, a letter, or acknowledge the Fed because they shouldn't even exist. That's the point. So if you care about this country, please make sure you like this video, share out our content far and wide, pull up and have an adult conversation. It's not about a buyback. It's not about 30,000, but we do need to talk about what would have happened in a free and open market if XRP was allowed to thrive, as we are now seeing the world's largest crypto asset manager, Grayscale, has added XRP to their large cap fund. More on that here in 1 second. But a quick update first on BlackRock. BlackRock, the world's largest money management firm in the world, right? So you got Grayscale, largest crypto asset manager. We have BlackRock, the largest money management firm in the world, announces that they're laying off over 600 employees. Not a big deal, right? Huge company, 600 employees, not a big deal. But this move follows a similar pattern to last year's layoffs. The firm's shares dropped by 6% in 2023 and after a 21% drop in 2022. So BlackRock used to have 10 trillion assets under management, and I believe it's now below 9 trillion. So, I mean, they're still eating good over there at BlackRock. And obviously, they're getting excited for this Bitcoin spot ETF. But it just goes to show you that there's record losses at the world's largest banks, that there's even issues at the BlackRocks of the world. But amidst declining assets from a peak of over 10 trillion, BlackRock is also expecting the SEC approval for its new Bitcoin ETF. The company faces a projected 2.46% decline in fourth quarter earnings year over year. And the scoop now coming out of Fox Business, Charlie Gasparino, and the whole point of yesterday's video was Eleanor Terrett from Fox Business, colleagues with Charlie Gasparino. They're going to be talking apparently with Stephen Narioff, and hopefully they're going to be uncovering the Dow hack, the ETHgate story, and then potentially talking about this whole Federal Reserve buyback deal, which I got in front of that. I put out the video yesterday so that we would have context for where this conversation got started from. It's not about the $30,000 price. It's not about the Federal Reserve actually buying it back. It's about saving this dang country. So if you care about that, let's have an adult conversation. Now, another issue that we're seeing here is the United States' second largest pension fund may borrow more than $30 billion to help it maintain liquidity without having to sell assets at fire sale prices. Everything is wonderful. And this is a report from Gold Telegraph. And I retweeted this and I said, is this the same this is the same pension funds. They're supposed to be rolling in their money into the Bitcoin ETF and pumping this thing up, right? Well, our second largest pension fund in the United States is having some issues, and now they need to raise $30 billion so they don't have to sell off the assets that they do have at fire sale prices. So, folks, the whole narrative here that I think that we've seen over the last few months from October, when the fake news story came out for Bitcoin ETF, and now BlackRock's hopped on the bandwagon. Larry Fink says that cryptocurrencies are going to transcend traditional currencies, and it's been a full-on push from Wall Street, BlackRock, and everybody. And the markets overall too, the stock market rally that we got to finish off this year, it was the final gasp of air, the final party, the final round of drinks before the cops come through that door and bust this party. That's where we're at in this cycle with the markets and everything that's taking place. In particular, with this whole Bitcoin spot ETF rally that's got us back up to 45,000. I've said that we could easily push up towards like 50,000 with ease, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that we're having ongoing crisis, debt, currency, liquidity crisis, and as you're seeing right here with the second largest pension fund. You want to talk about sending some ripples, sending shockwaves through the system. If we start to experience larger systemic issues with our pension funds, there's going to be people in the streets. So this is why I say that Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to let it break. Something's going to break. They rug pulled the American economy with the fastest raising of interest rates in history. They rug pulled Main Street. They rug pulled our economy. Wall Street's too stupid, and there was too much cash circulating around to realize that. So that's what took us to new all-time highs for Dow Jones, and the NASDAQ, and the S&P was just like 0.3% away from an all-time high. Is because there was so much damn cash in the system. There still is. And this is what's leading to the separation of wealth between the haves and the have-nots, is there's been a bunch of money printed, and inflation, it benefits the wealthy the most because they already own the assets. So while they are having to pay more for the everyday goods like the rest of us, the assets that they own are appreciating in price, and they're able to make it through that. But without raising an additional $30 billion, the second largest pension fund in the United States is not about to make it. So there's serious issues right now. And that's why I'm calling for us to be experiencing a correction here sometime soon. Buy the rumor, sell the news event with the Bitcoin spot ETF. And then when we look at everything else going on with the banking crisis, the BTFP program set to expire on March 11th of this year, many issues. Okay. And now we're starting to see, though, the world's largest crypto asset manager, Grayscale, has just added XRP to its large cap fund. Now, all right, we're back. So yesterday my light died. Today my phone runs out of storage. Having all sorts of issues as we're rolling on the fly here. Appreciate everyone for hanging out with me. But as I was saying, the world's largest crypto asset manager, Grayscale, has just added XRP to its large cap fund, a fund that is designated to get exposure to some of the largest capitalized cryptocurrencies in the space. And so to see Grayscale, a company that had an XRP trust fund back before the lawsuit, right? They removed that, and now they're adding it back. This just goes to show you, the price suppression, the damages, everything that's been a hindrance to XRP's growth. Now we're finally starting to recover. Now we're finally starting to renew these partnerships that were already going on, and we're firing them back up. And so it's a great time to understand here in the XRP community, although it's been frustrating, although many of us are tired of this investment, we're waiting for it to go, we're getting breakthroughs. And the world's largest crypto asset manager clearly sees something, adding it back along with Avalanche. So Avalanche and XRP have been added to the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. Matic has been removed, and CRV has been removed from the Grayscale DeFi Fund. And I'm going to be dropping a separate video talking about, is BlackRock going to be one of the next ones to launch an XRP ETF? We've seen that there's already XRP exchange traded products live in Europe. And I believe that we're going to see an ETF for XRP here sometime in the next year. I definitely think that's going to be coming. And just look at what Grayscale's been doing, right? They rolled over their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, is now being rolled over into a Bitcoin spot ETF. This is the way. This is the future. This is the direction that this is all going. And as we've been talking about, these institutions didn't want to work with Ripple. They didn't want to touch XRP. Now that we're behind the lawsuit, now that everything's over, Grayscale, what are they doing? Swooping it up. And speaking of swooping it up, I wanted to share this one with you guys, folks. What we see here is yesterday, the COMEX registered silver vaults dropped 4.37 million ounces. Now, we've been seeing them stuff this thing back full over the last couple of weeks. They were really trying to pack it back because it had been decimated all of last year. And while they were stuffing it back in, we were seeing them add 1 million ounces of silver. We were seeing them add hundreds of thousands in a day. And then I said, we warned, we said, guys, this is just a precursor to the vaults getting absolutely cleaned out once again. And then sure enough, yesterday, 4.37 million ounces in one day. Let me remind you, we had a 200 million ounce deficit last year, 2022. I need to go and get updated numbers for 2023 and see if we ran another deficit last year. But without a doubt, we're seeing the funds. What are they doing? They're picking up XRP. We're seeing the silver vaults get absolutely cleaned out and drained. And then we saw central banks bought a net 44 tons of gold in November. Sorry, I don't know why that was so hard for me to read off. I was thinking trillions, been talking so much about trillions. Central banks bought 44 tons of gold in November. So central banks are buying gold at the fastest pace in 50 years. And then we're seeing the central banks are working with the company Ripple by and large, not even close. No one else is really even getting the central banks to pick up the phone. But Ripple's been working with these central banks, showing them how they can build out their CBDC on the private ledger, how they can get the customization, the characteristics that they want for their CBDC for, and then you got to look at other banks and institutions too that will be able to build out their sidechain on the XRP ledger. It's a great spot to be in because you have regulatory clarity with additional utilities that are now coming so that you'll be able to have access to DeFi and other sorts of utility on the XRP ledger. So I wanted to just make this quick video talking about where we're at right now in this cycle where, although this is very exciting, we're seeing Grayscale adding XRP. We're seeing that BlackRock thinks that the ETF approval is imminent. I'm not going to be holding my breath, and I am absolutely anticipating a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So watch out for that one. And then make sure you guys stay subscribed here, hit that notification bell, because I got more updates coming your way as we're going to be talking about the potential for BlackRock to actually launch an XRP ETF, or we're going to find out maybe Grayscale will be it, right? It's going to be a battle for the first XRP ETF. Let me know in the comments down below who you think could be the first firm here to launch the XRP ETF. Once again, I'm not buying any of these ETFs. I'm just stacking the underlying asset. I stack my silver, I stack my XRP, and I'll let Wall Street do what they do best. They'll be selling our products for us. I'm going to tell my grandma that we don't need to buy an ETF. Grandma, I can help you set up a wallet. I can help you use the exchange. Let's get that underlying asset in your control. And as we've been saying, folks ask me, what am I investing in? And I say, hey, I'm not here to give you financial advice, but it's very simple. I'm stacking utility with no counterparty risk, and I am not done fighting until we get a level playing field and we bring accountability for the regulatory capture and the corruption that we've seen here taking place in the United States of America. That's what we're here to do. If you appreciate that, if you want to get on board with us, make sure you like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. And we got some more stuff coming your way. God bless all of you. Thank you so much.